All right, we're going to get into a few things kind of under the hood of Revit now that you guys have at least gotten acquainted with how Revit works. So under File, I want you to go to Options. I know we covered this, but just in case you haven't, I want you all to make sure that you're getting the Save Reminder interval. It is essential that you make sure that you have that. You don't really need this one. This is if you had a central model, which if you were collaborating with your friends or colleagues, that would be in play. Now I will set mine to no reminders so I don't constantly get disrupted by these messages. But make sure yours is at least 30 minutes. I mean, if you really are anxious, you might go 15. Other things that you should know about, if you were going to customize your shortcuts, you might do that here. Essentially allows you to reassign or assign different types of commands that you use a lot of and get them to be kind of more something that you are familiar with or want to use. So you can kind of look up any type of command here and you can change it. It's probably not necessary. Most of the shortcuts are already pretty well established. If you go under any of these different commands, if you roll over, not only do you see perhaps a video, but you also see in parentheses what the shortcut is. So it is worth noting each one of these, specifically the ones that you use every day or every time you're in Revit. So wall might be one worth memorizing. Putting in doors, windows when you get to it. Those kind of things would be worth it. And also under modify, it might be worth it to memorize some of these that you use a lot of, like move and copy and align, rotate. Most of them should be familiar roughly with maybe something that you've used in Rhino. All right, so let's go back into options. So a few other things, graphics. I mean, if you get tired of whatever the colors are for different things, you can get into that. Again, I wouldn't really mess with them unless you really had some specific need. The other thing you want to turn on is use hardware acceleration. This will kind of maximize your graphics card. Other than that, unless you have some specific problems, sometimes finding the template files, sometimes these can get they don't install right, but that would be only if that's a problem for you. I think that is probably all we need to really cover as far as getting under the hood. But do make sure that you do get this to be 30 minutes or less. Something else I want to cover is that the way I've been running my Revit files, one thing you should note is that as you're creating your Revit file in the folder wherever you have it, you'll see that you end up with a long list of kind of variations of your major name for the file. So you can see I have a lot of different versions of that file, and it's basically saving it, step by step, creating a backup file for me. Those things are great. They can really get you out of trouble if something goes wrong. So you shouldn't lose that much at any given point. So if you ever need to use these are Revit files. So you can open any of them in Revit and then rename it as needed. So those are your backups. What I've been doing is in each of, and I would recommend doing this. So for each assignment, and this is obviously last year's assignment, I have a folder for that assignment, and then I have my Revit files in it. It just so happens because this folder, had some other things. I went ahead and created even a Revit folder inside of that. And so for each new assignment, I'm creating, that place for a new file, so that I have a clean version that is kind of starting from scratch for each project. So I never am losing that much. If something goes wrong, I always have that backup. And obviously you also have all these backups. Now if you get to the point where you get done with a assignment and you have a good file, and you need some space on your hard drive, because these do create a lot of storage capacity there. So you can go ahead and delete them. Just make sure that you hold on to the one that is the important one. Okay, I think that's it.